What's up, everyone? It's Lex DeVille here, and today we are talking about where to get work outside of Upwork. So a lot of you have probably noticed that Upwork is getting harder to get approved on. Maybe you were already approved there and you got suspended for whatever reason, or maybe you started on you tried to get on Upwork, but they wouldn't approve you, and you've tried a million times and they still won't approve you. And no matter what you do, no matter what skill you try, Upwork just keeps saying your skill is saturated and they won't approve you. And so now you have to start thinking about, where else can I get work? Where should I go? What other places are there? So I thought I'd make a video where I give you a few thoughts on some places where you can get freelance work that are outside of Upwork, and hopefully those will be useful for you. This is not a comprehensive list, but it's a few places that I think are probably the best places for you to start. And I'm going to break this down into several different skills, several different common skill areas, so that you have an idea of where to go. So I guess we'll just dive into these. If you're ready, let's make it happen. So the first skill we're going to talk about is for writers, designers, and editors. If you are a writer, a designer, or editor, that could be copywriting, it could be blog writing, it could be web design, graphic design, or if you are someone who edits or proofreads books or copy or any of those things, then I think the single best place you can go is Facebook. And you are particularly looking for Facebook groups, not just any groups. You want Facebook groups in specific niches. So you don't want to go to a copywriting group. You don't want to go to just a random jobs group or anything like that. That's not where you're going to find work. What you're looking for are specific niches in fields that you are familiar with. So if I was a web designer, what kind of web designer am I? I'm going to be looking for, let's say I'm in the construction industry. I want to go find construction Facebook groups and get in there, and then I can share value about web design in that industry, and I can talk and connect with those people. Same thing for copywriters. If you are a copywriter, maybe you want to write for coaches, you need to go find coaching groups, join those groups, engage with the people, and just talk to them, create value, and let those people know that you're a copywriter eventually. They'll funnel back to you, they'll ask you for work, you'll start to pick up referrals, you'll make a lot more money by being in these Facebook groups. So if you're one of those things, a writer, a designer, or an editor, you should be in Facebook groups. That is the next place I would go if I couldn't get on Upwork. Number 2, if you are a narrator or if you do voiceover, there's quite a few options, and I don't know all of them, but the two best options I've seen are acx.com, which is for audiobooks, and findaway.com, which is they're kind of for audiobooks and other types of voiceover. So there's quite a few voiceover websites, but those are the two that I know of. And ACX is really good about getting clients quickly. If you set up a good profile, if you have samples of your narrations and your voiceovers, and if you keep it you focused and focused on the value you deliver for a specific niche on ACX, you will have people reaching out to you and they will want to work with you. And you can, of course, always work on revenue split, or you can work on per finished hour. And you're probably looking for per finished hour if you're doing this as a freelancer, because you want to get paid a fixed price for the audiobook or narrations that you do. So that's the two places I'd go for there, acx.com or findaway.com. And as an alternative, you could also go to some of the audio Facebook groups if you wanted to engage with people in that regard. If I was going to go to the Facebook group route, I would be looking for niche groups of audio or ebook writers. So I'd be looking for niche groups of writers or niche groups of people who might need audiobook narration or voiceover work. Number 3, if you are an illustrator, and I'm not talking about, I guess it could be graphic designers. If you're an illustrator or a graphic designer and you focus more on artistic works, like video game art and stuff like that, then I think your best bet outside of Upwork is probably someplace like DeviantArt or Behance.net. DeviantArt and Behance are both, as far as I understand it, they're both portfolios for sharing artwork, but I've actually went through DeviantArt and hired people to create artwork before, and Behance, I think as far as I understand, it kind of serves the same purpose, and it's a big well-known place where you can share your art, you put it out there and people can find it, and then they can contact you, you can let them know that you do those things. Alternatively, if you can't get on Upwork, you could go the Fiverr route. That's not going to be a huge moneymaker for you probably. I mean, most of Fiverr starts at $5. It always has. There's ways to upgrade yourself in that realm. So you could probably make Fiverr work for you. Some people can. I would personally prefer to go through DeviantArt or one of the other portfolio sites where people are going to see my artwork, like it, and then reach out to me. And then I'm going to have more control over how I communicate with those people, because Fiverr doesn't let you have any control over that. And I'm going to have more control over what I can charge and what people will think that my artwork is worth. So deviantart.com or behance.net, those are the places I'd go if I was an illustrator or maybe a graphic illustrator. I forgot what number we're on. 1, 2, 3. So number 4 is going to be musician or audio engineers. If you are someone who creates music. So this isn't the same as voiceover and narration, but if you actually create music, it could be digital music, it could be you playing a guitar, or if you were someone who edits audio, or you maybe proof audio, or you master audio, if you do any of those things and you are good with audio and creating that audio, then I think themeforest.net could be a really valuable place for you. It's not a freelance website, but what it is a website that is stock music. Like, you can put stock music on their website and you can create little sound bites and put them out there, and then people like me, entrepreneurs, can go and say, hey, I'm looking for the sound of a crackling fire. I type that in, I find yours, I like it, and then I pay you for it. And maybe I pay you a one-time fee, or maybe I pay you an ongoing royalty for commercial use. So this can create a recurring income for you, and it's a good way to make money over time. You can put out there as much as you want. I mean, this is something that you don't have to wait for clients for. So to me, if you are someone who deals in music, or if you create audio or sound bites, then this could be a really useful place for you. And that's not just ThemeForest. There's other stock music websites out there that you could go through, but this is just the big one that comes to mind that's got probably millions of people looking at it every single day. These are the exact right people for your audience that you would want, because these are web developers, these are people who are creating videos, people who need little sound files for their courses and different things, and they're going here, and they're probably going to a few other stock music sites. So the cool thing is you can probably put your stuff on ThemeForest, and you can probably put it on other websites, so you branch out and you reach more people and you have more income coming in. Okay, number 5. Let's say you do stuff with machine learning or AI or some other weird techie field like that. Where are you going to go for that? I think probably your best bet is going to be one of the investor websites, the startup investor websites like Angels List. So angelslist.com. If you go there, you can connect with other people who are startup businesses or they're growing businesses that need tech people and are willing to pay them very well, because those skills are in demand. They're in demand on Upwork, they're in demand on people per hour, they're in demand on Angels List, where you can have somebody, you can tap into investor funding. So that can be a big payday for you if you're someone who knows that stuff. Now, I don't know all that much about the tech world in terms of where the work is, so I wouldn't recommend any other places. I just don't know them off the top of my head, but Angels List is a good one for that. If you are customer service or a virtual assistant, if you're someone who wants to do one of those two things, this will be number 6, I guess. If you want to do either of those things, I think your best bet is probably, again, Facebook groups. You want to look for the kind of people who are going to need that. You could join Facebook groups for e-commerce businesses, or you could join Facebook groups for coaches, or just somebody who is dealing with people on a regular basis and doesn't have time for that. That would be probably your best bet. This probably goes for social media too. If you want to be someone who's doing social media, you need to be in the places where the people who need that service are going to be able to connect with you, see what you can do, and hire you. One thing about all of these that you don't want to do if you are trying to get outside of Upwork is you don't want to go to these groups or these different places and be spammy. You don't want to go there and just start posting about your services. Before you do anything with any of these groups, you're going to have to get in there and engage people. Now, on some of them like ThemeForest, you just put your material out there and people just find it and buy it. But for any of these where you have to build a profile, or you have to write you have to upload portfolio pieces or samples, or you even have to get in there and talk to the group, you don't want to go straight for the jugular. You want to get in there and just try and find ways to be valuable, whether that is sharing a useful piece of information, sharing a useful link or blog post, or just something with no expectation of money in return. You want to draw people to you, let them come to you, and this is how you're going to start to get clients. Or you just talk about the things that you do, the service that you do. If you're a copywriter, you talk about copywriting in these Facebook groups, and people start to get familiar with you, and your name gets associated as being a copywriter. They say, somebody comes into the group and they say, I need copywriting. Does anybody know someone? Who do they think of? Well, there's only one person who's been in there talking about copywriting nonstop. So they say, oh, Lex, that guy does copywriting. That's your guy. Go to Lex. And so they do. And then you get to decide if you want to take them as a client. You deliver, you make them happy. And then guess what? They know somebody else who needs copy, or they need more copy, and they come back to you. And boom, now you are starting to form a client base outside of Upwork. So you have some different options here. Hopefully you found this helpful. Many different ways to go. There's so many places to get work outside of Upwork, but for most cases, I actually think Facebook is a really good bet for like most of the time. You could try LinkedIn. I don't find LinkedIn as useful for me just because I don't spend as much time on LinkedIn. I don't know it as well as a social platform. I've had results with reaching out and messaging people through LinkedIn, and they also have groups similar to Facebook, so that might be an alternate path if you don't want to get on Facebook and go that route. But for me personally, my prerogative, whatever I'm trying to say, my focus would be on going toward Facebook groups and finding places where there's going to be people who actually need my service and where I can actually get in there and create real value without just trying to sell someone or slap someone in the face, slap, with my services. So that's my thoughts on that. Let me know if you guys have different places that you think are valuable, or where you think people should go. If there's like a place out there that you've been making money, if you're even willing to share that, or if there's a website or a platform, whether it's People Per Hour or Freelancer or one of these other websites, drop it in a comment down below. I mean, it's all about us trying to help each other, and hopefully I'm doing that for you, and hopefully you guys can engage with each other in the comment section too, and maybe help one another out. I don't know. We'll all make a little money today. That's all I got for this one. Subscribe down below if you want to see more. Click the like button if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Lex DeVille, and I will see you next time.